Good afternoon, everybody. This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. I've got a little bit of a somber topic to discuss with you. But before I do, please hit the like button, the thumbs up button, to combat the cyber stalkers. It is 2:47 p.m., April 12, 2023. And the topic is war. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Do you remember back in the 60s that song by Edwin Starr? It was later sung by the Temptations. But this is a little clip that I'm going to play to listen to. Hopefully we won't get banned because somebody else has got the whole song streaming. I'm going to just stream 2-3 seconds. I'm going to do a little clip. Absolutely. Okay, well, I'm going to thank Deb for the article that she sent to me. It's by the Watson Institute, Brown University. It is The Costs of War. And I can attest to what I'm going to read to you because I am on the Department of Defense newsletter that I receive daily that allocates money to various industries, corporations, military across the United States, and more. So I'm going to show you quickly first. About never giving up, folks. Don't ever give up. Evil depends on good people doing nothing. Okay, so Homeland Security budget, folks. You want to hear about the Homeland Security budget? The creation of the new cabinet-level Homeland Security Agency after 9/11 and the associated identification of new Homeland Security missions to prevent, respond to, and recover from terrorist attacks constituted the largest reorganization in the United States government since World War II. Absent the wars, the U.S. would have spent some money on the areas we now identify as Homeland Security, but nowhere near as much. Between fiscal years 2001 and 2021, the Office of Management and Budget reports that outlays for the Department of Homeland Security totaled over $1 trillion. Not thousands, not millions, not billions. $1 trillion. In the 20-year period from 2001 through 2020, Homeland Security expenditures were more than 6 times as high as they were in the previous 20 years. The percentage of the federal budget that was allocated to Homeland Security post 9/11 was twice the percentage in the preceding 2 decades. Activities that were considered Homeland Security, quote unquote, are carried out by the federal government as well as by local and state governments and private entities. Federal government expenditures and activities include Customs and Border Patrol, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the Transportation Security Administration, which is the TSA, and others. Then there is law enforcement offices at the local and state levels make up the bulk of non-federal activities and expenditures for Homeland Security. Homeland Security funding is a complicated and opaque matter. Do you know what opaque means? You cannot see through it. It's not transparent. That means it's a big dark secret. Homeland Security funding is a complicated and opaque matter, not only because of the different public and private entities involved, sort of like private contractors, fusion centers, all those people that you can't FOIA request, like InfraGard. Those private entities involved. Oh, we cannot forget about the Freemason lodges, folks. All those Freemasons that are involved in the Eastern Star witches. The private entities involved, but also due to the vastness of Department of Homeland Security, because not all federal Homeland Security spending goes through DHS. Oh, no, 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 folks. Homeland Security is carried out at the federal level by DHS, as well as by the Department of Defense, which is the DOD, the Department of State, Department of Justice, the DOJ, and many others. The DHS accounts for only about half of the Homeland Security and expenditures at the federal level. And within DHS, not all funding is for Homeland Security. Oh, no, no, no. DHS runs the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, for example, which responds to both man-made incidents. I'm going to repeat that. Man-made incidents and natural disasters. Guys, could you please comment down below? What is a man-made incident? Do you think that has anything to do with those genius-level shooters that are going around the country every year or so, every few months? You know, those geniuses with the PhDs that were studying neuroscience that suddenly snap. Or how about those genius attorneys? The man-made incidents. You know what I'm talking about, folks. The key findings: if federal spending on Homeland Security has grown at the same rate as other non-military federal spending, then total appropriations would have been hundreds of billions of dollars lower. The state and municipal governments are also likely spend a significant amount on Homeland Security, but the total, it's difficult to calculate given the lack of government data. I'm going to interpret that last sentence for you, folks. The total is difficult to calculate given the lack of government data. That has to do with the lack of government transparency, folks. It's so difficult to calculate. You know, these agencies, they don't really keep good books. They don't really have good record keeping. They don't have CPAs or lawyers or anybody calculating their books for them. There's nobody calculating their spending for them, documenting what goes in, you know, what goes in, what goes out, what comes in, what comes out. Nobody's actually calculating all that government data or that government spending. So this is why it's just so difficult to calculate the amount of money that Homeland Security is spending, because there's a total lack of government data. Use your imagination, folks. Anyway, war. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again, folks. War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I will post the lyrics to that wonderful song by Edwin Starr back in 1969. This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading, signing off for now.